Hare Krishna. Gurbhavista Supurakam Guru Ganaira Shisha Shambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samastaveda Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Bidhamujvalang Varatanam Bhaktyanvitang Sundaram Bande Vishva Gurun Chadipya Bhagavat Premno Hi Bija Pradam. Let me see if I can just do one thing. That is Paramananda Das coming to join us. So I'm going to send to Praneshwari Devidasi, if I'm able to, a photograph which maybe she can share with the devotees. And Leela Shakti Devidasi, she can guess what the photo is. Because she knows, I think, what's going to come. What photo is it, Leela Shakti Didi? Can you say?
Dhanavats. Dhanavats, everyone. Yeah, it's the Harinama Sankirtan in Italy. I don't remember the city. Lecco, is that correct?
Oh, very good. Lecco indeed. And when?
Yesterday for you, today for me.
Yes, today for you, yesterday for us. So did you receive that in your WhatsApp, Praneshwari? Did he?
I haven't opened WhatsApp, Maharaj.
Oh, okay.
But I will share it from there.
All right. Because you're able to, and it's on the phone and I'm using the computer. Anyway, just to share a little bit from a few hours ago, our Harinam Sankirtan yesterday. And Ganga Leela is traveling somewhere. No, she's in a room.
No, I'm in my home. Dandavad, Hare Krishna.
Dandavad, Hare Krishna.
I'm traveling in ether. I'm with everyone right now.
We definitely do travel in ether. And an example of that is that Paramanand, who sent a clip, which he'll say it's sent from Pavan Krishna Prabhu, the way devotees do share things. Not a clip, a 15-minute video he shared. A very nice video from India and from our days in India. And we watched it together in the temple, as we do. We watch things together in the temple, and it gives an opportunity to also share with the devotees, what's happening, where, etc., what place we are. And we watched it together with quite a good group of devotees who were here. And after it was finished, we really had to bring ourselves back to, we are here, we're in Vila Govinda Ashram in Italy and not in India. So it is true, Gangalila Didi, that we are able to travel as, is it Gurudev or Guru Maharaj? Anyway, they both in one voice explain that in general, the fastest way to travel is this, with the mind. We can travel somewhere with the mind. So let us travel together, actually, to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, to Navadip, to Koladeep, to the place of the greatest mercy that Mahaprabhu has distributed in Koladeep, and the greatest mercy that's been distributed to the world from Koladeep also. So this is our home, the home of the heart. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and indeed Srila Prabhupada.
Maharaj, and these are the credits for the video. Please check the chat.
Check the chat. Video made by Ajita Krishnabhu of Russia. Where can I watch that video? Oh yes, good question. I'll find you that link. I'll find you the link now. And in the meantime, let's just start with little. We started with Srila Gurudev's
Go ahead,
pranam.
I will do the video.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, I will do the video. I will find
yes,
it. I will post the link.
that will save me multitasking, as the modern word is, isn't it? So let us start. Hearts from Gangalila. I'm sure hearts from everybody. We've come together, including Chintamani. with her horses. I know they're not her horses, they're Krishna's horses. Krishna's horses. And Bhagavan Prabhu also joined us in the meantime. Ajita Krishna joined us. So, Dandavats Bhagavan Prabhu. So let us start with our obeisances to each other, to Guru and to Gauranga. So we've gathered together in the ether, maybe. But Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvaje Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Yes, it's a good video, except it's got me in it. You can skip those parts, but they're only short parts. All right. Praneshwari Didi, we can't hear you.
Right. Paramananda Prabhu, can you explain why Ajita Krishna Das says not me in the chat? Just before your
It's Ajita Krishna Prabhu of Russia. That's why I specifically mentioned that. The one
okay.
who is behind of all the Goswami Maharaj's short video, The Beauty Over Power, and so many other, and that 24-hour YouTube channel with Goswami Maharaj. So he's the one.
He just explained, because I am the one in California.
And he's the one who is the embodiment of that verse, Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim, that Kripatamaham Vandeshi Gurundina Taranam, because he's on a wheelchair, but he crossed the Himalayas, literally. And then he doesn't know English, really. Now he knows a little bit more, but before he didn't know. But he would cut the excerpts from Maharaj's talks in English perfectly. And that's why Maharaj said, it's a mystery how he does it without understanding the language, but somehow he does it. So he is that person.
Very well. Thank you for the explanation. I'm going to share this wonderful photo of the Harinam. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at all of them. Maharaj, can you please tell us the names? Who is holding the Mahamantra banner? Maharaj.
Okay, so left to right, it is, they are Kamala Sundari Devidasi on the left. Then Audarya Leela Devidasi. Then Rituraj Prabhu. And then Mini Rituraj means Sundar, Krishna Sundar. Then somebody else.
That we love so much.
Then holding the banner, the blue banner. This is Nadia Sundari Devidasi. And then Nirupama is with the bead bag around her neck, Nirupama. And the two mini Nirupamas, as it were, are the two children, just there, they're her children. And then behind is Ananda Swarupini, who lives in London, and she's visiting all of them. They've come, the others have come, the ladies have come from Ukraine, and the Rituraj is living here. I mean, he lives here, it's his home. And Ananda Sarupini from London, and she's visiting for I don't know how long. I didn't ask when she's leaving, but I know she's got commitments in England. So she's visiting for a few weeks at least. She's got this opportunity to come.
And Maharaj, please, let's check your Italian. Ogni parola un canto, ogni passo una danza.
Yeah.
What does
Well,
it say?
I did know, but it's basically chant, dance, and I think be happy. But how is somebody here who can actually translate it? I can tell you the one on the left, the one on the orange board. I can.
Each word a song, each step a dance.
Okay. And
Beautiful, beautiful. And some flowers.
what?
Some flowers at the bottom.
No, there are 4 lines. What's the first?
Yeah, each word a song. A song
Okay.
is the second one. Ogni passo is each step a dance.
Okay, okay. So now you know my Italian.
Beautiful
And,
photograph, Maharaj. So sweet, so sweet.
and if you want to know my more Italian, I don't know how much you can see, but here's the mobile phone, and you see the green and red thing there? I don't know what you can see, but
Yes.
this is my Italian online, like automatic teacher. And it says,
Very good.
there, but what does it say? It says you're demoted or something. You're now in the demotion
Emotion zone. Duolingo is not a good teacher, Maharaj.
Not a good teacher.
He chastises so much.
Oh, no, yeah, well, it's good. I think a good teacher does need to chastise it. Hare Krishna. All right, so dear devotees, we have come together, and please, you know, I used to say it, and only remember I used to say it recently. Please utilize me. I'm here with you, and we're always happy to be with devotees and share. So this is back to basics, and we're coming always across things which are our basics. And one of them is Harinam Sankirtan. When we have the opportunity to come together and to chant together, you know, chanting together means like, okay, physical, but in the presence of each other, when we can have some banners, some flyers. I've shown you the flyers before. I don't have a flyer just nearby. But when we have the opportunity to hand out flyers which have got some way for people to contact us, and when we've got the possibility to physically be chanting with the devotee, with the devotees, but in public, there's one thing to chant in the temple, no doubt, but also we know it brings much happiness to Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. It brings much happiness to Mahaprabhu when we can go out and actually chant in the public so that the public can hear. And really, we see so many smiling faces. So one of the basics of our devotional life is we must try to take opportunities and make opportunities to meet with the devotees and to have some Harinam Sankirtan, to have something to share with the people. And like these banners, there are another 2 banners. By the way, those banners say something different on each side. So people are looking, and we see all the time, I mean, all the time people are looking up to see the banner. So it has some value. And then when you've got some flyers, and by the way, the best distributors of flyers are those children. I mean, some people refuse, but you know, all sorts of people there who definitely wouldn't take from me and maybe would take from the ladies, but they do take from the children. So, you know, the children are a great asset, and they're happy to do it also. And of course, the children, not us, by the way, the children at the end, they're rewarded with gelato because it's Italy. So they're very happy.
Gelato is universal, Maharaj, because in Chiang Mai, they also have gelatos.
And they do, yes. Chiang Mai is a gelato place also. But still, we got no Australian representation today. but
Not yet, not yet.
not yet. Well, I know Abhinav and Kelly, they're in the outback. I mean, literally, they're having a mini adventure with the kangaroos. And with kangaroos are everywhere. You don't have to go far to find a kangaroo. They're having mini adventures, so they're off. They're not even online. But Rupanova often comes in. But still, I was going to say, but we don't have representation from there today. Oh, but Kat, I know that you watch many of these back to basics later at a suitable time. And Kat, still, I have to say, your gelato, what you make in Australia, it's the world winner, I tell you, it's the world winner. But don't tell the Italians, I'll get beaten up again, because they're very proud of their gelatos. Okay,
Maharaj.
let us continue. So I've begun with that idea about Harinam Sankirtan. And by the way, we did Harinam Sankirtan, and it was quite hot. You can probably take a guess at that from the picture. And then at the end of, not quite the end, but 3/4 of the way through, in a nice park area, then we sat, there was a nice, people are sitting everywhere. And we sat under a tree, very beautiful. And so there we did also like seated, and we did some bhajans, almost like an evening program, except we didn't read from Bhagavatam, but we did read the translations, like a little evening program. And there are people around, and everybody was very gentle and happy that we weren't like intruding, or nobody showed that impression. They kept on going, and the little children gave the leaflets to those groups who were around and about, and people come and stop and look. And when they come, it's also, we're in the public eye. So we're having our evening program practically, but in the public eye. And that's when the kids also have gelato. And then from there, we went back to the city center, the whole walking area. Europe's quite good for having pedestrian-only areas, which everyone's hanging out, and the cafes and all that, where there are no vehicles. And there, we passed through there, back to the railway station, and then came on the train. Yes, Praneshri Didi.
Yes, dear Maharaj. In the chat, there is a question from Chintamani Didi, please.
Question. So there is. Praneshri Devi, that's from Chintamani. Okay. I've never been able to have a strong japa practice. How can I establish a successful japa routine when I live outside the temple and without the association of devotees? Okay. You know my answer, don't you? It's going to be. So when you get the opportunity, come and stay in the temple, get in a good routine, and then don't break that good routine. It's like getting a good habit. We get a good habit. We get a good habit by being in the temple, where we do have our time, where you don't have to feel shy to chant japa. We chant our japa. We do our morning duties, our japa, our bathing, chanting japa, chanting Gayatri, morning program, offering the food. By getting into that routine, then when we are in the temple, it's our very favorable environment. And then when we are in our homes, when we are homes or other people's homes, when you're looking after other people's homes, as perhaps you are doing, wherever we are, then we can keep up some good habit. So good habit is good to do. And bad habit is good not to do. And we want to clear away bad habits, but by replacing them with the good habits, really. And I can think of King Birambir. Oh no, I can think of, first of all, Munindra Mohan, Munindra Mohan and Krishna Kanta, who oh, by the way, you may notice in the picture yesterday that Krishna Kanta, Munindra Mohan, Shantimoy, Devirasi, and Madhurananda, the 4 pillars who live here in the temple, the 4 pillars of the Vila Govinda ashram. And the 5th pillar is Shama Sundarprabhu, who now lives in America, but he's still the pillar of the temple, even though he's not living here as such. But to give, I mean, full everything there. He's the fifth pillar from the very beginning to now of the temple. And anyway, those the four pillars who live here. You notice they weren't in that picture that we had yesterday. And what were they doing? They were catering for 100 people yesterday. Wow. So, and there's been a maha, cooking, chopping, cooking, cutting, packing, all these things. Anyway, so much activity over the last 3 days, as well as running the kiosk. So everything has been like very active from all the devotees. And that's why they were not in the picture. So I should give that mention. But I was remembering Munindra Mohan Prabhu to say about King, because he likes this thing about King Birambir, who is the bad king, who arranged the stealing of the books that were being carried by Srinivasa Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur and Shyamananda from Vrindavan to Bengal, this pastime where the books were stolen. They were going by bullock cart. They were all loaded on a bullock cart and they're crossing the whole of India to go to Bengal. But in the province where King Birambir was the ruler, his astrologer told him, oh, great treasure is here. Anyway, this King Birambir, who stole those books, but then became converted into Vaishnavism by the presence of Srinivasa Acharya, right? Not Shyamananda, Srinivasa Acharya. Okay, please tell me when I get the names wrong, because I do. Please excuse. Oh, did I get a name wrong last week? No, it was the London one I have to give a mention to. I did get a name wrong in London when I spoke last week. But King Birambir, he then became a devotee after all of this Leela, which we won't exactly mention now. But he knew that these books, there was some treasure there, but he didn't understand it until Srinivasa Acharya just explained what is Srimad Bhagavatam one occasion by coincidence, not coincidence, by Krishna's arrangement. Anyway, King Birambir, he was a very strong ruler. And then he made a decree that in his kingdom, everybody must chant the holy names of the Lord. And then actually it was his successor who came after him, a very strong follower of King Birambir and continuing the kingdom. He made the decree that everybody must chant, and if anybody does not chant, they must leave from this kingdom. And then there is an incident where there was a farmer. He'd been out in the fields plowing all day, and he comes home to his wife. And then when he came home to his wife, then he's very exhausted, but he said, oh no, I can't take my meal yet. I must chant my japa. I must chant my fixed number of rounds, because if the king gets to hear that I'm not chanting my rounds, I'll be kicked out of the kingdom. So Munindra Mohan Prabhu, he likes this story very much, and he says that we want to install King Birambir's kingdom example here as Vila Govinda. And actually, he wants to make his own kingdom. And he said somehow some things may be possible if we can get the next house and the next house, and then kind of do like this.
His
So
name
anyway,
is Munindra Maharaj.
Excuse me?
His name is Munindra. It already has a king in it.
Muni Indra, the king of the Munis. Anyway, this is all like evolving from Chintamani Devidas's question of, how can I establish a successful japa routine? So just consider you're within that kingdom of King Birambir and his successor. And then we think, I'll be kicked out if I don't chant my japa. But doing it for a good reason, because Shyamananda convinced the king that the holy name is all in all. Everybody should be chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is the Yuga Dharma. This is the sacrifice for this age. Everybody should be doing it. And the king is so convinced that he passes the law because he is the king. In those days, the king could do that. And who is the king meant to be following? The Brahmanas. And who are the topmost Brahmanas? Who's more than the Brahmanas? As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur stresses, it's the Vaishnavas. So really, by circumstance, the king was following Srinivasacharya, one of the three topmost students of Jiva Goswami. And this way, that kingdom came to be Vaishnava, a Vaishnava kingdom. So anyway, the point is, our mind is our best friend and our mind can be our worst enemy. So we want to do everything helpful, and the best help for the mind is association. And the best way to make our mind bad is bad association. So we want to try to have association, as we said just near the beginning, when we have the opportunity to be together for Harinam Sankirtan, to be in the street, to be in the public eye, not for ourselves, oh, I'm doing this, but for the satisfaction of Guru and Gauranga. Then when we're together, we can be infected by each other. We can be infected with the devotional virus. And so when we're together in a healthy temple environment, then we are getting our opportunity for establishing our good routine. And we have, Varun, now we almost forgot his original name, but Varun has been with us on many of the Zooms in the past, and he managed to make it to one of our Zooms here live. It's a bit early for him, maybe, but Bimal Krishna, now his name is Bimal Krishna, and he's already kind of getting nervous about leaving the temple environment, because within a month, then he's coming to Hungary, and then he's going from Hungary back to the United States, because he can stay just 90 days within the EU, Europe, as it works, the American passport. So he's already getting nervous about leaving the association of the devotees and getting into his good habits, and he's saying, yes, I know I have to make all this as like part of my nature, so that when I'm back in America and having to earn a living and do the things that we have to do in the world, that I'll be able to maintain this. And it's quite interesting because he's very clean-hearted, and he's trying with his whole heart to get into all the good habits. And one good habit, again, Munindra Mohan, Krishna Kantar and our team, that everybody who is here must be in morning program and evening program. And he's doing that, of course. And when devotees first come, they do find it sometimes a little difficult, but with a little affectionate embarrassment of them, if they don't make it on more than one day in a row, then with a little affectionate embarrassment to the devotees, then naturally we come to be in the program. And if we can't make the program for some reason, we always kind of feel like we missed out, and what was the reading today? And sometimes we can't, because of not actually Zooms, but other programs and things which happen early in the morning. Hare Krishna. And here's a question from Dhananjay Prabhu in Cyrillic script. And
he says that yesterday we had the Zoom with the Russian-speaking devotees, and one devotee, Vrindavan Chandra, he just shared his experience of chanting 300 rounds of japa on Ekadashi day. He doesn't do it always, but he did it once.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have chanted over 100 rounds, and I'm not putting in that up as a banner. I've done that, but I mentioned that, and this is a long time ago. And it was when literally I was in transit and had basically nothing to do. I mean, except, you know, what? Nothing, anyway, nothing to do. I was in transit. And so when you're in transit, you know, don't have a lot to do. And so I had the opportunity. And so, but to chant, and I don't remember whether it was 100, it was over 100, whether it was 108 or more, I don't remember. But what I can say is that I kind of decided, okay, tomorrow, what am I going to do with my time? Okay, then I can do this. And I can say that the chanting was, to do that number of rounds was like a concerted, conscious effort of not to lose 1 minute anywhere, to bathe as, you know, so I'm going to start my day and everything. I'm aware I'm going to try to chant continually all day, and to chant. Maybe it was 108 rounds, it's possible. But from the moment of waking, so waking early, doing just, you know, bathing, tilak, the morning, the Gayatri, I mean, all these, the things like this, but without losing a moment, and then setting down to chant the japa. And I do, you know, recall trying to consciously, not just chant the rounds, but to try to consciously chant. I'm going to chant japa properly. So remembering the 10 offenses, and sometimes while chanting the japa, like staying on one of the offenses, but doing the opposite. So really wanted to try to chant properly. But I do recall that to reach 100 plus, and I don't remember what the plus was, that it was all the way through until the evening, until like the end of the day. And I was, you know, not doing anything except like a minimum, and maybe had a, you know, very short, like some fruit or something like this. I don't recall, but like very short. It wasn't, okay, now I'll take a break, go out for an hour and, you know, have a meal or cook something. And I was in, as I say, I was in transit. So it's amazing to me that somebody can chant 300 rounds. So Dhananjay Prabhu. Oh, so is Vrindavan Chandra in Odessa? Yes, and he's a regular, he's a good devotee, very sincere. We see him with the devotees all the while, and he's there in Odessa, in Ukraine, and there's a lot of inspiration to chant the holy name, no doubt. But I'd be interested to hear how he was able to chant 300 rounds in a day. But
He
but
took
what I can
advantage
say,
of the Ekadashi, Maharaj.
excuse me?
He took advantage of the Ekadashi. He
Yeah, maybe.
was not eating, he was not distracted with cooking, he was just focused on his japas.
Well, my experience, I don't think it's possible by me. So now I'm led to think of Guru Maharaj, who, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Shri Maharaj, we would go to Guru Maharaj, and not only in the morning, but sometimes in the day, we've got service to be with Guru Maharaj, because somebody to stay with him in the daytime, and we'd be also massaging him, all under the guidance of the senior devotees, etc. But Guru Maharaj, we've been with him many times when he's been chanting japa, and you can see, sometimes you can see him, you can see his chanting, the hand, because the bead bag, you can see he's chanting the japa. And I've tried to keep up with Guru Maharaj's chanting, and of course, not in quantity can I chant, not in quality of Guru Maharaj can I chant, but I cannot definitely chant in quantity as Guru Maharaj chanted. And Guru Maharaj really, he's chanting and he's drawing the beads. So there is something which I can say, I mean, really, quality and quantity. We always have to try to be 25 hours a day, with 125% quality.
Oh, Maharaj, and you attracted Australia because on Facebook, it's Priya Bhakta. He says, I am in Australia, Maharaj.
Jai Priya Bhakta Prabhu. Dandavat. So you're in Australia. We've been mentioning Australia a little earlier today. And why were we mentioning Australia? Someone, little mundane, but it's not mundane. It's in remembrance of a devotee and a sincere aspiring devotee, Cat, who makes the best.
Bars.
Yum, you know the name of them too, Yum Bars. Really, the tastiest ice creams in the world. And she has an altar and she offers them to Krishna. And I mean, really, it's very, very sweet.
Very sweet.
Very sweet.
She mentioned that everything is organic, mentioning all the ingredients, organic ingredients.
Yes.
So I wrote, and they are made with organic love. Because it's really, she's doing it like Seva.
Is she corresponding with you now? She's sending you a message?
No, not now. But
Okay.
because you mentioned we started with the gelatos, and you remembered her line of vegan ice creams there. I'm mentioning that I saw a picture of her latest creation, and she said that everything was organic. And I said, yes, because everything is made with organic love. She's doing that with love.
And this is a project started by her and Kelly Kadambanana, Kelly Kadamba, who's the wife of Abhinavasundar. They're with us sometimes. So you see, and somebody in the world has a job as a taster for finding wonderful taste that will please Krishna and attract the devotee and attract the people in one way or another. And I have to say one thing, that I was thinking about this the other day, because in Italy, they have the very grating sound, and it's to test us all that we can accommodate everything, that we will not be disturbed by anything. But they have this very grating sound for the ambulance and the police cars. And then I was thinking about this, somebody somewhere has the job of hearing the most irritating, like the most intrusive sound, so that people will hear this. And someone's got that job, and somebody else has a job of tasting ice creams so that they'll be as tasty as possible. So we want to have the kind of service which is the tasteful service in this world. Hare
Maharaj,
Krishna.
in the chat there is a comment. Can we ask Paramananda Prabhu to explain this comment?
Yes, he's been too quiet for too long. We've got to hear something from Paramananda Prabhu about Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj.
Actually, I was hoping Maharaj will tell the stories. That's why I sent that.
You can probably hear my throat is a bit hoarse this morning. For those of you who don't, English is not your mother tongue. It's H-O-A-R-S-E, not horse, like the horses that Chintamani Devidas is with. And so actually it's good if you can say a few words too.
Well, English is actually easier than Thai, because ma is a horse in Thai, but it also means 5 different things, depending on how you pronounce it. Ma, 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 ma. So it is confusing. So English is very easy.
Okay.
Anyhow, why I posted that is that it reminded me a story when Srila Goswami Maharaj is visiting one elderly gentleman and staying in his house, and then finding out that he was a doctor, this gentleman, a wealthy person, but he also hosted Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. We heard so much about his pastimes. He was a regular visitor of Guru Maharaj's mat and loved Guru Maharaj dearly. In fact, Srila Saraswati Thakur commented that he saved him from the from the forest, the solitary chanting when he went there when he was younger person. Then Saraswati Thakur heard about it. He said, if you're his true friend, then go and rescue him from there, pull him out of there. So Babaji Maharaj, he did not give up his constant chanting of the holy name. He continued, but he followed his Guru Maharaj's advice, and under the guardianship, we can say in friendship of Srila Guru Maharaj, continued his preaching of the holy name just by his presence, constantly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, constantly chanting the bhajans, Vaishnava bhajans, and visiting different places. But he especially favored Guru Maharaj and loved being in his association. So Goswami Maharaj is in the home of that gentleman. And then the gentleman is telling him a story that once Babaji Maharaj was visiting his house and he stayed in a room upstairs, very solitary, small room. And then he fell sick for some reason. And then he's a doctor. So he went to check him, examine his body to find out what is wrong with Babaji Maharaj. And then, you know how doctors do. What's the thing, Maharaj, in English?
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope. There you go. See, you remember that story.
Yes, yes.
So the stethoscope. So he's trying to see and hear his heartbeat and the sound of his breathing, lungs. And he said, when I started doing that, I was shocked and amazed because all I can hear inside was Hare Krishna Mahamantra, a constant kirtan going on. And then he said, then I removed the stethoscope and then I tried again and again. I heard Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Like his heartbeat was Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we come to this point when the great Vaishnavas who really develop taste for Krishna's name, the holy name, chanting of the holy name, they don't count. It's for them, it's just like breathing. It's so natural. If they don't breathe, if we don't breathe for a while, it will start suffocating. I mean, you can maybe hold your breath for a minute or two, a highly trained person, maybe 5 minutes, but then it will start suffocating. So it's like that. So Babaji Maharaj, he couldn't spend a moment without chanting the holy name. And we hear so many stories. Oh, Maharaj, have you seen him there in the mud?
Myself, no. I did not have his association, his direct association at all.
No, he left. We heard that he left quite early. But anyhow, that's a different story. And another thing, we started from this photo today. And I'm thinking, I know that Krishna Kanta and Munindra, please correct me if I'm wrong, they come up with this idea of those, what are they called, Maharaj?
The
The
banners.
things they carry, the banners. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, the idea of the banners. I remember Krishna Kanta was really into it. That was their idea, correct?
Oh, yes, indeed. Their idea, they made them.
And I'm always amazed by the inside of Munindra and Krishna Kanta. And really, that's just some kind of a special blessing of Srila Govinda Maharaj. How deeply they're thinking. And you look at what they do, and then you can recognize Srila Govinda Maharaj. You got his signature, it's certified. Bhakti Sundar Govinda Swami under. You can find that signature everywhere. So think about it. One of them is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Another one is every step is a dance, every word is a song. So where we hear that description, in Goloka, there is every word a song and every step is a dance. So why are they talking about Goloka? And we hear it so many times. When we're chanting the holy name of the Lord, and if a pure devotee is present in that group, and Guru Maharaj points that out, for the name to be fully revealed and have full effect, we need just one devotee in a group of others. And then the non-Prabhu will appear there and will influence everybody around. So when that happens, what happens? Krishna personally descends in the midst of the devotees. And when Krishna comes, he will always come. His form is there, his qualities, the Rupa, Guna, Lila, and Dham. So his Dham will also descend. That means you are in Goloka while you're engaged in the chanting of the holy name, Harinam. And then every step is a dance and every word is a song. So how perfect is that? It is amazing. And of course, we covered the presence of the pure Vaishnava is already covered. So I have no doubt that wherever they go with that group, the Harinam group in Italy, and having amazing influence on people. And some of those people will not understand it, will not realize what did just happen to them. But it already happened. It already started for so many. You just need to be not opposed. You can be equiposed, or you can just like the devotees, or like the sound, or like the melody. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have some kind of a positive reaction to what you see and what you hear, the chanting of the holy name, the seeing the faces of the Vaishnavas, you get agyata sukriti. There is no doubt about it. But also with the presence of the pure devotee, the Krishna is fully present, and Krishna is known as all attractive. So we cannot even start imagining the effect of the Harinam, that kind of quality, Harinam, Nagar Sankirtan, on people around. And now I'm thinking, why are the people of that Lecco place are so fortunate? And there are people of Rome, so many. This is practically the world, used to be almost a world capital. And I heard that Maharaj is going there soon. Are you, Maharaj?
Our next program will be from here, but next Sunday will be in Rome.
Here you go. Then
By the way, about the banners, also a very practical thing, and this is also from experience. So there's the banner. You see that the bottom of the banner is a little shaped upwards. This is so that when it's very square, the corners kind of tend to get people. So we don't want to hurt anybody. So it really does make a difference having them a little upwards. So if you are inspired to make banners where you are, it's a good tip.
Also looks a little bit like a tilak shape, Maharaj.
Oh, that's your vision. That's
the
your vision.
The view of the Vaishnavas, yes.
No, that just reminds me Giri Maharaj in our mat. The old Giri Maharaj, he had this huge tilak of that kind of shape. Anyhow, Maharaj, and one last thing I want to say, every time Gurudev would give kijais, even though it's a short kijai, don't have to be the whole long thing, but Gurudev would always, he never failed to give kijais to Haridas Thakur. Really, always. And sometimes he would do it 3 times. Haridas Thakur ki jai, Haridas Thakur ki jai, Haridas Thakur ki jai. Because he revealed the glories of the holy name. Now I will keep silent.
And Shripad Dandi Maharaj joined us. Dandavat Dandi Maharaj. From Moldova. Hardly we've heard of Moldova. And now in Moldova, new people are coming because of the presence of the devotees. New people are coming. Automatically, some association is happening. Who knows what will happen step by step? Every town and village. This is the prediction. Hare Krishna.
And the mood of Maharaj is so soft and so gentle. He is captivating devotees so easily, so easily.
And Maharaj, when he has any question about something, he's asking, what would Gurudev do? What would Guru Maharaj do? Can you help me understand something? What would Gurudev do or Guru Maharaj do? And this is what we want to do. We want to know from the gold, not even gold standard, from the Chintamani stone, not gold, but more than gold, Chintamani standard of Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and of course Srila Prabhupada, who we know through the books and know through Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. But they have given us our Chintamani standard, and we want to always try to learn from those who may be able to help us to understand that what was their way to deal with this kind of a situation or that kind of a situation. Also, by the way, this week, to be a little realistic to the world we're in, 24 hour, okay, not 24 hours ago, but maybe 20 hours ago, then one devotee's mother, who we know, and a very sweet lady, one devotee's mother passed away from this world. And right now, one devotee, and who is initiated devotee, but also a devotee's husband, is getting ready to pass away from this world as we speak. So just a little reminder that we see the whole world. And when, for instance, yesterday on Harinam Sankirtan, we're seeing so many babies, you know, young in the pram, in the, not wheelchair, but children's chair, wheelchair we usually think for older people, but yes, a children's wheelchair. So many babies, parents with their little children. We see the teenagers, you know, quote unquote, enjoying. We see the older people when we're out in the public. And of course, yesterday, Saturday evening, and a very beautiful evening, so people are going out. We see the whole span of life and we see pregnant ladies. It's not India. In India, when the ladies are visibly pregnant, they stay indoors, but not in Europe. So we see the babies in the womb, the very, very young children, very young babies, and then the whole sphere, and the old people going along, and one person, half their body, you can see, presumably had a stroke or something, but still continuing to get little exercise by the lake. We see everything in front of us. But now when people we know are leaving the world, again, it's just a reminder that we must always understand that we are here temporarily, and that we are all going to go through that next door, you know, through that doorway to the next chapter of our life. It is going to be another chapter of living. And so we need to just keep on the straight and narrow, as we were told as children. We must keep on the straight and narrow. Okay. Not out of fear, but out of just normal good sense use of our life, especially when we've come to the shelter of such wonderful personalities, and actually under their shelter, their guidance. And who knows what's going to happen in generations to come. Look what happened after Mahaprabhu left. Look what's taking place, all kinds of things. From one trunk of the tree of Saraswati Thakur, many things already came out. So now we must try to keep as close as possible to understand we've come to the straight and narrow under the guidance of our Chintamani standard, gold standard masters. And that what we are doing is real. And then so we had this first-hand experience, hearing of the passing away yesterday. And before passing away, then closely in touch. After passing away, the son, the devotee, closely in touch, and then telling about the pastime. It is a big reminder for us. So we must always remember that we are here temporarily, and we've got this opportunity. And as we said at the beginning, when we have the opportunity of Harinam Sankirtan, we should try to take that opportunity. But we have the opportunity of our cultivation of Krishna consciousness. And we must try to take that opportunity, because everything in this world is temporary. And as we've seen, we could not do Harinam Sankirtan for several months because of the restrictions of more than 4 people in one place, and groups and this, that, and the other because of COVID. And even we couldn't even take the train because we didn't get initiated. Oh no, not initiated. Intoxicated, no?
Vaccinated.
Oh yes, vaccinated. But isn't there a word beginning with I for vaccinated? Or injected? Yeah, we didn't get injected. Yeah, I knew it started with in. Okay, injected. We didn't get vaccinated, so we couldn't get the green pass. Anyway, so then you see, we could not do Harinam Sankirtan. And also the public couldn't come into the public as they were doing. So there's actually a little relief. I think that's also part of why so many smiling faces and so many happy people with the Sankirtan. Not only those who are doing it, but also, like I say, yesterday we saw from baby to old, very old persons, smiles and joining a little bit, the babies all the way through to the old people. And I really wondered what was in the mind of some of the old people, because I think they remember the Hare Krishnas, and I'm thinking they're thinking, oh, where have they been all this time? You know, the Hare Krishna.
Nice.
Because we've directly had people say that to us when they see it. Oh, I haven't seen you guys for so long. Where have you been? Anyway, this comes back to just again, the reminder that we have this wonderful opportunity for Krishna consciousness. Let us not put it on the side burner and leave it for later, as in cooking, you know, we put it somewhere to the side and then leave it for later. No, we want to try to make it the main theme of our lives, and the secondary thing is our jobs and this, that, and the other. And that secondary item also will automatically come within the flow of what is savor. We'll start to see that everything is Krishna-centered. And we need to remember how Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, when the doctor puts a stethoscope, always the chanting of the holy name. Again, our Chintamani standard, we should try to be like that, not by imitation, but they are setting the example. Acharya sets that. Who is the Acharya? Acharya is one who preaches by example. They are the example for us. So association, remembering the devotees, serving them in their absence, when we can't see them, as it were, remembering them in their absence. It is our separation, service in separation.
Maharaj, because we are 1 minute before 11 here, for you before 5, we don't have the time for a question from Narottam Nitai Das, so I'm going to save it for next week.
Okay.
But please read in the chat the last post, because it's related, for you is already happening.
Oh, is it?
And I added also the link to an article written by Jagamohini Didi.
Okay, well, perfect. First of all, I can say thank you for reminding me, and I think all the devotees will thank you for reminding them too, that it is the Panihati Day, and we will read about it and hear about it. But Panihati, the Panihati festival, it is always very kind of happy remembrance fest. Everybody loves a festival, don't they? Well, this is a happy festival, but with a very big message. So both things, we want to join the happy festival with the speed of our mind and our heart, as Ganga Leela Devidasi was reminding us before. We can join all these pastimes, which are eternal and kept eternal by the words presented to us in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and by Gurudev's presentation, Guru Maharaj's presentation of these pastimes. So we can join that Chira festival, Chira Dari, the flat rice and yogurt festival, but also listed there, other things as well as that. So many sweets and things presently were brought. And so many shopkeepers came as well in order to help the festival by doing good business with all the people who came. I mean, it's so much reminds us of festivals in India, and the Panihati, is in India, physically speaking. And the description, the best description anywhere, I mean, yes, Jagamohini's article, no doubt, but if we have that time, and that will take us a few minutes to read, but it'll take a little longer to read, will be the whole section in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
And Lila Shakti sharing the audio of the Panihati Festival.
The audio?
The audio link.
I didn't know anyone was there with a recorder. Is there a video link? Can we see Nityananda?
Yeah, it says 2006.
Okay, very good. I look. Okay, I'm copying both of these right now, and then we're going to see. Okay. Okay. Yes, on scsmap.com. Try. Anyhow, Panihati Festival. Thank you for the reminder. And here in Italy, I am surprised that there is good chira and good doi, dadi, doi, chira, dadi, mahotsav. And the yogurt is right, just how many meters? 220 meters, I suppose. Very near here, the farm just over the hill. I mean, just down, we're on the top of a hill sort of thing, just down here, the farm, the local farmer. Then they're making yogurt right here, fresh. So we have yogurt and the flat rice. I am surprised how good it is. Or maybe it's just Krishna Kanta Munindra and Shantimoy Madhurnanda. They're so good with the magic with their hands for what they cook. And this is not cooked, this is soaked. But when we have this for breakfast here, it is better than India. It's come from India, but very well prepared. So yes, today is the Panihati festival and we're over time, but please try to catch the mood of the festival and the message of the festival. The message of the festival being, we have to come through Guru and Gauranga we have to come through Guru, Gauranga. This is our process. And then everything we will get. And Nityananda, he is the Guru, the original Guru. And by his grace, then coming to Gauranga. So this is all Leela. These are all parshads of the Lord. But this is all for our education as well as for our sharing of the flavor of interaction of the pure devotees. We get a window to the pure world of Navadip, the pure world of Vrindavan. And so, a wonderful Remembrance Day. Hare Krishna. Okay, so now you all have some homework to do. Me too. And we'll do some homework together, no doubt, with the devotees this morning in the program. And you, for those of you in the USA, tomorrow you'll have some remembrance.
Jai Shila Bhaktiram Madhusudan Maharaj ki.
Hare.
Jai.
Who's the guilty one? I didn't see any microphone on. I don't know where that sound came from, but anyway, coming from me indeed. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gurudev Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. All our Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. And Jai Vishvarenya, worldwide worshipable Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And as Paramananda Prabhu reminded us so aptly and so appropriately, that Srila Gurudev always giving the Jai to Srila Nama Charger, Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. And Jai to all Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. Jai Shripad Dandi Maharaj ki Jai. Bhagavan Prabhu here with us ki Jai. And Paramanand Prabhu ki Jai. Praneshwari Devi Dasi ki Jai. All of the devotees here on Zoom and on Facebook, everybody. Our obeisances to you all. Mathura Basini Devi Dasi. And Priya Bhakta Prabhu and the various devotees. I can see some, I can't see everybody. Nirupamar is with us. Okay, Maladhari, Devidasi, and Madhava, Michael Madhava with us, and certainly others. And to all of those who do see the recordings, our obeisances to you. recording or not recording, we are with you and appreciate your contribution with your presence. Harinam Sankirtan, congregationally we are together. Banchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat, wishing you a wonderful festival day, but wonderful days and moments until we meet again soon. Successful Seva days. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Jai.
much, Maharaj. Thank
Jai
you.
Shri Pancharamasud Maharaj ki jai.
And to all of you in Chiang Mai there too, in Govinda Farm, Krishna Pedri, Ram Sundarpu, and all the residents of the farm, the turkeys and everything else, the piranhas too. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo, Ami Ashchi.